Hi, welcome, Simon here. In this video, I'd like to explain this special laptop a little bit in details. What are the things that you can upgrade, things that you can change, and whatnot. Alright, so let me dive right into it. First thing first, let's try to pronounce the name of the laptop. This is Eluktronics Prometheus XVII. So it's kind of a special laptop. I don't get to see them a lot here. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so the first thing I need to use would be the Phillips screwdriver. I need to remove the screws and remove the back cover to kind of see what is the internal part of the computer. So let's go ahead and do that now. I think I need to use a different screwdriver just because this screwdriver here is a little bit too fat to get in between. Yeah, I think this one as well. So let me grab a different screwdriver here just a second. I do have a screwdriver here, it's available. So they're just a regular Phillips screws, nothing special. And it looks like all the screws are the same, so it is easier to get everything installed later on. And I'll try to link all the upgradable parts in the description below, where I'll direct either to Amazon or eBay way to find the replacement parts. Alright, I do see the opening is between the gap and the base here. I'll be using a metal prying tool just to give myself enough room to stick in the plastic. So I do see some gaps is opening here for me, and I'll be using a plastic prying tool to pry it open. So it's kind of a clipper all around the side. So when I try to pry it open, you can hear that little clicking sound, which is normal. And just want to pay a close attention here. I do notice that the top part here may come off, as well as the lighting here in between that. So let me try to separate that here for a second. So this little thing, the lighting on the top here, they do come off. So that is for the left corner. The right corner should be the same as well. So let's try to pry it open gently. And that would be the right corner for that lighting. And at this point here, I think this plastic would just come right off. But I need to be very gentle to separate them apart. Okay, so that would do it. That would pry open the entire back cover. First thing I noticed that there are stains at the bottom of the plastic. Those are the stains. Obviously the stain is there. I'm not sure what happened to it. I do see some liquid damage here on the side. So the cover on this side of the cover is on that side of the fan. So that means there's some kind of a liquid damage here previously happened to the computer. And also I do see some corrosion starting to build. You can see that corrosion is building up on the side of the fan here. Need to clean that off. I'm not sure where it came from. So it's pretty straightforward. The computer, the battery here is at the bottom. You do have two M.2 SSD slot. The M.2 SSD allows you to add additional storage capacity, and if you're looking to add more storage, you can definitely stick in one of these M.2 hard drive here, stick it in there, and kind of put a screw there. So the screw is already provided. I can see that there's a tiny little screw here where you can remove it and install on your secondary M.2 drive. Okay, so that is convenient. Appreciate for giving us the extra screw here. So the computer have two RAM slot, first and secondary. It looks like it's already came with 16 gigabytes plus another 16, so that would be the 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM. I believe you probably can add up to 64, meaning that you can install 32 gigs here and 32 gigs here, so that would be 64 for the upgrade. Okay, so the heatsink looks like the graphics card is on one side and the CPU is on the other side, or vice versa, meaning that the graphics and the CPU is pre-installed onto the motherboard. If the graphics failed, sorry, you cannot upgrade or repair the graphics because it is soldered to the motherboard. And that would be your NIC card, network interface card, for the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and this is your CMOS battery which is connected to that. All right, so to disconnect the battery is very straightforward. You just have to slide the connector down, remove the screws, and remove the battery. Now the battery here, I would think that the model would be this GK5CN-00-13. That would be the model for the battery. Speaker here is at the bottom. USB additional slot here on the right side. That's pretty much it. Now without taking it apart, I can see that the keyboard is underneath the motherboard. Okay, so that keyboard right here is underneath the motherboard, and I do see that little rivets that is punched down by the manufacturer, and the second rivets right here, third and fourth is right here. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is that the keyboard is not replaceable. So if you have broken keys, then the keyboard is, you have to replace the full assembly, meaning that you have to replace the entire keyboard trackpad. That's how they make it, because those rivets, once you remove it, you have to break it to get into the keyboard, and you can't screw it back in afterwards. So when you're typing the key, those keyboard would get synced into it because the rivet is broken. All right, so that's pretty much it, straightforward. There's some cleaning that I need to do. I'll probably gonna get some alcohol wipes here to kind of wipe off some of the dust and what of this liquid right here. I'm not sure where what is this thing come from. So sticky. It probably some sort of a soda maybe. Okay. And then I do need to get a brush later on to kind of brush off those dust. Get one of the brush, clean it up a little bit, and then I'll bring this computer outside the office to get an air compressor to kind of blow off all this dirt. Or you can just use the brush, take your time, and kind of pick up all this dirt here for a second. It's good to clean it's good to clean the fan so you get a better ventilation, and rather than getting it too hot. All right, so again, there's plenty of room for the computer to add additional capacity. Just want to point that out to you. There is a secondary slot here for the M.2. And what else is there in this computer that I can talk about? I think that's pretty much it. The rest of it is not upgradable, besides the RAM and change out the battery. So I think that's pretty much it in this video. Again, it's just a simple dive into what is in the computer. I just want to give a better look here what is in there, so that if you guys are interested to find out. All right, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care and bye now.